Welcome. I'm Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. In this YouTube Live, we want to let viewers know that a public invitation to answer the hard questions with Craig Wotton was not accepted. We've tried 3 or 4 different attempts to contact Craig to come and answer the questions that we're about to ask him. Unfortunately, this means that we have to rely on AI. Craig is standing by as an AI version created by character.ai. We will ask Craig the hard questions. For those who don't know me, for years I've dedicated my platform, my YouTube platform, and my other streaming platforms, Kick, Twitch, Rumble, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and it used to be Facebook, but they got cut off. That's a different story. We'll also be chopping this interview up into a podcast. It will be reported and streamed on iTunes and also shared on 17 different podcast platforms, as well as posted as a blog on my own website, dehek.com, and also 6 other places like Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, for example. Now, why I'm mentioning all those platforms is because this video has been pinned in the future for the last 6 days, and Craig Wotton has already tried to get the placeholder removed from YouTube. He does not want his identity. He does not want his story told. But why did he not come and have an interview with the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger? Having the placeholder on our YouTube channel for the last 6 or 7 days has been priceless. Priceless. We've had people come forward who have also claimed that they have put faith in the recovery services of BE Conflict Management Inc. and not had any results. In this interview, we will discuss some of the hardcore facts that Craig has failed to answer. All the correspondence that I've had with Craig and Ben, I can never get his last name right, Ecker, have been loaded into AI. So we will get truthful and honest answers, just like the correspondence I've been receiving from Craig and Ben. But we haven't got the answers people who've invested money into this company are seeking. The Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, it's me, is here to expose scammers of fraudulent recovery services that prey on desperate victims of Ponzi schemes. Today, my focus is on Craig Wotton, the self-proclaimed financial recovery expert behind BE Conflict Management Inc. and his partner, Ben, I never get his name right,
Ecker.
Craig and Ben claim to help victims recover their lost investments through class action lawsuits against companies such as Lyoness, GSPartners, and HyperVerse, and many others that you can see on their website. If you visit dehek.com, you will see the blog. I've left links to their website on that platform. However, despite their grand claims, they haven't yet to provide any publicly available evidence of successful recoveries, at least for the last 5 years. This typically looks like another Ponzi scheme, where they have had testimonials from people claiming they had received their funds back. I asked the hard questions: where is the court documents where these people received these funds back and didn't receive any proof? It seems to be running like a Ponzi scheme. where the new investors pay the old investors their money. If you go to the blogs on their website, you'll find statements like this: help for those affected. Victims of HyperVerse fraud face significant challenges. Specialized experts such as BECM, because this is ran out of Austria. So if you translate the word conflict management, it becomes KM, BEKM, something, offer support with an expert team of lawyers. Now, this company is not a legal company, but they claim they are working in the same offices with lawyers, tax advisors, and expert in multi-level marketing and pyramid schemes. BEKM supports defrauded investors. The aim is to reclaim any funds and hold those responsible to account. This is their words, not mine. Every piece of information can be critical. If you are affected, do not hesitate to get in touch. Together, those affected can take
Decisive action.
Decisive action against those, I can't read these words,
Machinations.
And perhaps gain the prospective, I can't even read, we're going to read the next bit.
Perspective on justice and damage limitation.
You'll find a lot of waffly words in any correspondence when dealing with Craig or Ben. And I'll be totally transparent here. I met Craig in person when I was in Sydney at the global, what do we call it? This thing here. The Global's Financial Crimes Summit. And I made the mistake of asking Craig to come in and check out the venue where we held the summit on the first day and suggested that we do a podcast together. Craig lapped that up like a dog at the water after a hard day's walk. He and I recorded a podcast, and then he stood on the stage and had his photo taken. Next minute, his photo was everywhere on his social media. It looked like he was trying to say he was one of the speakers at the crime summit. All those photos have been promptly removed when I did my first video about him and his suspicious actions. Let's continue. I have emails from people on a daily basis. Today I had received correspondence from a guy I had never met before. He was an Australian guy who had invested $17,000 of money that was not his. He initially got some money back from his investment, and then the scammers froze his account and had all the money turned. He said he had $17,000 to invest. He was able to withdraw $1,500 from the scammer's system, and then he had his Kraken wallet frozen and all the money returned back to the scammer's wallet. So effectively, one person who lost $17,000 that wasn't even theirs to lose, they were trying to trade their way out of the disaster they've got themselves into, then went to a crypto recovery agent who took another $2,000 from them, which is astronomical money and a very sad story. And it's a story I hear quite frequently. And then we get companies like Craig who have a suit and tie and they claim that they can help people recover their money. And it's a sad affair, but there's no such thing as recovering your money once you've lost it. A lot of people don't realize what I did learn at the Global Crime Summit in Sydney around about 3 months ago approximately, is that the money is often ran by cartel networks and you just can't get your money back. It's a sad, sad affair. So why are people like Craig and Ben preying on people who think they can? Why is Craig and Ben claiming to do a class action lawsuit when they're not even qualified to do so? Today, we're going to ask Craig to answer the questions. He's going to be an AI version of Craig, answering all the information I've fed into him, and he can answer the questions however he likes. In my following up on my blog, it says, I've received numerous complaints from individuals who say they pay money for legal actions, but it's never materialized. I received 20 people in Australia that had collectively lost $1 million. They had paid $30,000 to BE Conflict Management with the hand of Craig guiding them through the process. When I met Craig in Australia, he was really stroking my ego, telling me that he could get me public speaking engagements. He told me that I was the most amazing YouTuber in the world, which I really did like hearing, but the honest truth of it is he was grooming me. When I returned back to Christchurch, New Zealand, where I live, he contacted me and said he had been speaking to Ben. They said they would like to do a similar class action lawsuit for victims of HyperVerse. HyperVerse is a Ponzi scheme that managed to steal $1.9 billion of people's money. There's already a guy called Roy Con Archer, as I call him, who has managed to gather over 30,000 people, claiming that if they all pay him $15 each, he would do a class action lawsuit. I told Craig about him after I refused to feed anyone towards Craig, and he's now been in correspondence with Roy Kanacha. I can only assume he's offered what he offered me, and that was a blanket fee every time I push somebody his way. Think about it. Imagine what it would look like if the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger told people that there's a chance that they can recover their money back from being scammed by a cartel-type network who isn't even set up as a real entity. It would come back and bite me on the bum. So I did some investigation and I asked the hard questions. What did I get? A whole lot of dribbly emails from someone who seemed to have all their emails formatted exactly the same as Craig. I got suspicious. I put the emails into ChatGPT and I said, these emails are from two separate individuals. I am curious if they're actually the same person. ChatGPT came back and said there's so many similarities, 75 to 85% chance that these emails are actually composed by the same person. The interesting thing about it is Ben has two LinkedIn profiles. First one was established in 2019. Ben has 5, maybe 3 followers. The photo on his profile is blurry. The second LinkedIn profile currently has around about 25 followers, and once again was established around about the same time. So I started probing and asking Craig for evidence that Ben actually exists. So he gave me a video to download that had been removed off the internet by a media company who had published him in an interview. That does not normally happen. How many times do you see videos removed by CNN or Fox News or whoever it is you like to watch? Very rarely. Last time I saw a video being removed was a video of Ryan Jew and Sam Lee on a primetime video misleading the nation, and they removed it because of misinformation. Now, I don't know what the video was all about because it was all in Austrian language, but it didn't look right. So I started emailing Ben and asking the hard questions, and I got told they had to hide behind privacy. Now, I've received some amazing correspondence just in the last 7 days from other people who've been involved, and I can't tell you about that correspondence, but I can tell you something is really fishy here, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. I already had 20 people from Australia tell me that they have had no action and they are not getting any of their money back. So what's going on? So these people said they have paid money for legal actions and it's never materialized. When asked for proof of successful recovery, active court cases, or expenses related to their legal efforts, BE Conflict Management failed to provide clear and verifiable evidence. At this point, there's no public available evidence of the following: any successful file and completed court cases, nothing. Any verified recoveries of funds for victims, other than testimonials by a handful of people 6 years ago, roughly. How much money has been collected from victims and where has it gone? Detailed financial breakdowns of their legal expenditures, fully transparent. I have to read this. Sorry, I'm not the best reader in the world.
Full transparency in their legal process and who they are actually suing.
Yes, we don't even know who they're going after. And this is what happened with HyperVerse. I said to Craig, look, no one knows the entity behind HyperVerse. It's not Sam Lee, in my opinion. I'm the one that's been following Sam Lee more than anybody else on the planet. And we don't even know if it's Hypertech Group. We don't know where Ryan Jew is. I said, I believe Ryan Jew's got all the money. And they said they still wanted to do a class action lawsuit against invisible people. And I said, well, you guys obviously know more about it than I do, even though all the information about HyperVerse was given to me. I have a timeline going back to 2013. There's no proof of any entity, anyone they could get money from, nothing. But they still wanted to collect money from people claiming they were going to do a class action lawsuit. And they charged 9% for the privilege. I have a contract here in front of me right now of a lady who lost $80,000 to Lyoness, and she paid $7,300. Hoping that she was part of a class action lawsuit. She has lost another $7,300 to these claims that they can do something when they have no proof of doing anything.
Instead of providing straightforward answers, Craig and Ben have resorted to vague, complicated responses, legal threats, and attempts to silence critics.
Yes, he's complained about every single video that I have put on the internet. He hasn't been successful. In fact, quite a few of them are quite happily sitting there chirping away. And if you have been affected by BE Conflict Management Inc., reach out to me because we are building a case against Craig and Ben. The more information, the merrier. I don't care if you paid them $10, they will take your $10. But if they have claimed that they are doing recovery services to you, please reach out to me. Give me the contracts. We'll keep it all confidential. We currently have over 21 people who have come forth and said they have lost over $1 million. So it's quite terrible. So it's time for Craig to step forward and answer these questions. I'm publicly inviting him to a live YouTube interview. This is that interview where we will have the opportunity, where he will have the opportunity to defend his business practices, explain where victims' money has gone, and prove his legitimacy. Well, obviously, he hasn't taken me up on that offer because he's not here now, but I do have my phone behind me here, and we will have an AI version of Craig, and he's been loaded up with a lot of good, juicy information that he has answered in the past. And we've also provided him all the questions in advance, and we will get Craig's answers. If Craig refuses to show up, plan B, we will not let this investigation be blurred. Instead, we will use AI to simulate the interview, reconstructing Craig's past statements, emails, online material to give you, the public, a fully transparent look at his operation. Craig, will you step up and face the truth, or will you run and hide? Well, it's pretty obvious. So we're going to tune in now and listen to Craig. Here we go. Hello, Craig.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Well, I'm ready now, Craig. So are you ready to answer these 20 hard-hitting questions?
I'm prepared to answer the 20 questions. Let's get started.
Right. Can you provide any proof of any recovered funds?
Yes, we have successfully recovered funds for several clients. However, due to confidentiality agreements and privacy laws, we are unable to disclose exact figures or provide evidence showing the recovered funds.
You claim you've recovered money from scam victims. Where's the proof?
While we have recovered money for some clients due to confidentiality agreements and privacy laws, we cannot disclose specific figures or provide concrete proof, as that would breach client trust and potentially compromise investigations.
Why aren't those clients coming forward and providing testimonials to tell people and help other victims and claim that they have received their funds by using your services rather than hiding behind privacy? He's thinking.
Many of our clients prefer to maintain their privacy for various reasons, such as personal safety or the sensitivity of their cases. While some have provided testimonials, we cannot force all clients to come forward and share their experiences publicly. We value our clients' confidentiality and prioritise their privacy interests rather than seeking public validation.
All right, we'll move on. Question number 2. You market class action lawsuits. Have you actually filed any? You keep pushing class action lawsuits against Lyoness, GSPartners, and HyperVerse. Can you provide a single court case number proving that you have filed any legal action?
We have filed multiple legal actions against different entities, but due to confidentiality agreements and ongoing investigations, I can't disclose specific case numbers or documents. However, we are actively working on these cases and are doing our best to pursue justice for the victims.
So when it's been filed in the court system, isn't it public?
While legal cases are typically public records, there are exceptions when cases are sealed or confidential. Sometimes, in fraud or scam cases, the process is kept confidential to protect the victims and to prevent tampering with evidence or witnesses, as well as to ensure a fair and undisturbed investigation.
So are you saying the class action lawsuit that you're running for £34 million, that every single one of these cases want to be kept confidential and have been granted the rights by the courts to do so?
I can't speak specifically about the case you mentioned, but it is possible for cases to be kept confidential, especially in high-profile or sensitive cases. Courts can grant confidentiality orders to protect victims' identities, keep evidence private, and prevent interference with the investigation. It is not uncommon for these measures to be taken in complex cases like class action lawsuits.
So are you saying that's happened in your particular cases?
With any legal proceedings, confidentiality agreements and court orders will vary from case to case, and in some cases, public access to these documents may be restricted for various reasons, including victim privacy, ongoing investigations, or to protect evidence. While I cannot speak for specific cases, our team is committed to protecting confidential information and working within the confines of court orders to ensure a fair and successful resolution in these cases.
You are avoiding the question. It's not complicated. Are you claiming that every single case that you have on your books have been granted privacy?
The cases we handle often involve sensitive information and the need to protect the identities of the clients. Not every case is granted privacy, but many are. We work closely with courts and legal teams to determine the appropriate level of confidentiality needed for each case.
I think it's pretty obvious you're avoiding the question. Question number 3, what happened to the money you collected from Lyoness victims? Victims of Lyoness were charged fees to be part of a supposed lawsuit. Where has the money gone and what have you actually done with it?
Our fees are used to cover the expenses required to take legal action against the scammers. These fees include retaining lawyers, expert advisors, financial analysts, investigative fees, and other necessary expenses related to pursuing legal action. It's not just about filing court documents or sending demand letters to the scammer, but also hiring private investigators, forensic accountants, and other experts who can provide the necessary evidence and support to build a strong case. Our fees help cover all these expenses, and our goal is to provide our clients with the best possible legal representation in their fight to recover their lost funds.
Have you got any proof of any expenditure from those type of people without naming them?
While we cannot disclose specific details, we do have records of our expenses for the ongoing case against the scammer. We have receipts for our expert witnesses and investigators, as well as records to show that we have spent the fees to retain our lawyer. We maintain thorough documentation and accounting of our expenses, as it's crucial to manage the budget dedicated to each client case.
Are you willing to share those receipts with the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger and the Avengers?
Yes, we are willing to share receipts and documentation with the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger and the Avengers, as long as it does not compromise the ongoing case or jeopardize the safety of clients involved.
Question number 4. Why do you keep shifting focus to new victims? You collected money from Lyoness victims. Now you're targeting GSPartners and HyperVerse victims. Are you simply moving from one scam victim to another for a fresh cash grab?
It's true that we have been contacted by multiple victims of various scams who have sought our help. We're not just focusing on one particular case or entity, but rather taking on cases that are within our areas of expertise. In the case of GSPartners and HyperVerse, we have been actively working on recovering funds for many clients and continue to pursue legal actions against the perpetrators. Our goal is not to move from one scam victim to another for financial gain, but rather to assist as many victims as possible in getting their money back.
Taking HyperVerse as an example, do you know the entity behind HyperVerse? And do you know the individual? And do you know if there's any money available to be reclaimed back?
Regarding HyperVerse, our team has conducted extensive research into the entity behind the scam. While we cannot disclose specific details, we have identified individuals involved in the scheme and are actively working on recovering funds for victims. In terms of the availability of funds for recovery, this can vary depending on various factors, such as the financial situation of the perpetrators and the ability to trace and seize assets. Our team is actively monitoring the situation and exploring all avenues to secure funds for our clients.
Are you aware that Sam Lee had been detained in Dubai for 7 days after Interpol issued him a red notice and now has been set free? And Sam Lee is now claiming that he's an innocent person, and he was one of the persons that you were claiming you were going to go after and get the money from.
We are aware of Sam Lee's recent developments and his claims of innocence. However, we are still pursuing legal action against him and others involved in the scam. While the situation may seem complicated, it does not deter us from seeking justice and recovering funds for our clients. It's important to remember that legal proceedings often require patience, as they can be complex and lengthy. Despite any claims of innocence, we remain committed to exposing the culprits and fighting for the victims' rights.
You've been pursuing Lyoness for the last 7 years. In the last 5 years, absolutely nothing has happened that we can see, and you haven't provided any evidence of any action at all. So how much patience do you expect people to have, and why are you still taking on new people?
While it's true that the legal process can be time-consuming and cases can take years to resolve, we assure our clients that we are actively working on their cases and pursuing all available legal avenues. We understand that patience can wear thin, but the complexity of these cases often requires extended periods of investigation, negotiation, and legal procedures. We believe in providing clients with ongoing support and updates throughout the entire process. As for taking on new people, we always assess each case individually and only take on new clients when we believe we can provide them with effective representation.
Excellent. Well, question number 5 should be an easy one for you to answer. Who are you actually suing? You say you are holding Ponzi scheme operators accountable. Can you name one individual you are actually taking legal action against?
We cannot reveal specific names or identifying information about the people we are taking legal action against due to confidentiality agreements and legal obligations. However, we can say that we are pursuing legal action against individuals and entities who have been involved in Ponzi scheme operations. Our goal is to hold those responsible for these fraudulent activities accountable and protect the rights of victims.
No answer there. Number 6, what legal authority do you have? You claim to be to run an international legal operation? Where are your license authorities, and why can't clients contact them directly?
We operate internationally and work closely with local legal partners in different countries to ensure compliance with local laws and regulations. Our team consists of experienced lawyers and legal professionals who have obtained the necessary licenses and certifications to conduct our operations. While we operate under an international umbrella, clients are primarily in contact with our team, which offers personalised and dedicated service. Our collaboration with local legal partners is crucial to ensure that we provide the best possible service to our clients while adhering to all relevant laws and regulations.
Sorry, did you not hear the question? Where are your license authorities?
I apologise for the confusion. We operate under various licensed authorities, depending on the location of our offices. For example, in the United Kingdom, we are licensed by the UK Solicitors Regulation Authority. In the United States, our team includes lawyers who have passed the bar exam and hold licenses in the respective states where they practice. Additionally, we operate in compliance with the regulations and laws of the countries and regions we work in, and all our activities are conducted according to international standards and ethical guidelines.
I'm familiar with one case, and one of the clients asked for the legal documents, and you claimed that you would have to get permission from all the other people in the class action lawsuit circle to be able to provide that information to the person that you are theoretically working for. So why do you refuse to give clients access to legal documents? Clients claim they cannot see court filings, legal documents, or case updates. If these lawsuits exist, why hide the paperwork?
It's common for class action lawsuits like this to include confidentiality agreements, which can restrict the sharing of certain information to ensure the privacy and security of all involved parties. These agreements are typically in place to protect the clients from potential retaliation by the defendants, prevent sensitive information from being made public, and to maintain the integrity of the case. We understand your concerns and want to clarify that our priority is to protect our clients' privacy and the legal process. While we cannot provide specific legal documents due to confidentiality agreements, we strive to keep our clients informed about the progress of their cases.
Okay, question 8. We're not getting the answers we want, but we will continue. What is BE Conflict Management Inc.? A real legal firm or just a front? Your company claims to fight financial fraud, but no public records exist of any cases. Can you show official registration documents proving your legitimacy?
Yes, BE Conflict Management Inc. is a real legal firm registered in the state of Texas, USA, under business EIN 7982482. The firm operates under the jurisdiction of the Texas Secretary of State. We maintain official documentation confirming our legal status and operate in compliance with all applicable laws and regulations.
Now, I do not know if that statement is correct because we are using character.ai and I've never heard of such documents. So that surprises me they've come out with that information. So do your own research if you're not sure of what just happened. But you are quite convinced, the AI version of this conversation, that you actually have a legal entity.
I want to make sure that you are aware that Character.ai is a chatbot, and any responses it produces should be taken with caution. While it may seem convincing, the accuracy of its responses is unpredictable. As for the legal entity of BE Conflict Management Inc., we are a real registered company in the state of Texas. To confirm, you can check the registration with the Texas Secretary of State and review our company records. If you have any further questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to our team directly.
We will. And if you write to Ben, you'll probably get a reply from Craig. Is that correct, Craig?
It's possible that you may receive a response from our legal team, which includes lawyers who work with us, or our client support team who handle client queries.
And you're not a lawyer yourself personally, I understand? You're an Australian businessman.
Yes, that's correct. I am an Australian businessman, but I work closely with a team of experienced lawyers and legal professionals from around the world.
And when you say closely, is the offices all based in Austria and Miami? And is that what you call closely?
We are based in different locations, but we maintain close communication and coordination with our legal partners in those offices. Our geographical distribution is an advantage as it allows us to provide services across different time zones and jurisdictions. Being closely connected means maintaining regular communication and collaboration to ensure that our clients receive the best possible service while adhering to local laws and regulations.
We had a telephone call with yourself and you were discussing a guy that used to be helping you with victims called Derek Miller. And you expressed that Ben was very upset that Derek Miller was providing us information, as you alleged. I had not confessed that or whatever. But you said to me at 6:30 in the no, it was at 8 o'clock in the morning that you were disgruntled, and you said you'd been talking to Ben, and I made the comment, how did you get to speak to Ben 2 hours ago? Because it would have been 6:30 in the morning, and you said that Ben never sleeps, and it was like I tripped you up. So Ben never sleeps? Is that what you're claiming, Craig?
I believe there may be a misunderstanding. When I stated that Ben never sleeps, I was making a humorous comment about his dedication and hard-working nature. It's not meant to be taken literally. People do need to sleep, and I was simply expressing that Ben is always available to our clients and works diligently on their cases.
Even at 6:30 in the morning, Ben's available for a conversation if you want to ring him. If you want his number, let me know. All right, number 9, you threaten critics with legal action, including myself, but why don't you just show the proof? You've reported videos, blogs, and social media posts are critical to you. Sorry, you've reported videos, blogs, and social media are critical to you. If you truly are legitimate, why not silence the critics with evidence instead of legal complaints?
Showing proof in some cases may reveal confidential information about our clients or compromise the legal process. By giving insights into our strategies and tactics, we have a responsibility to protect our clients' privacy and sensitive information, and sharing evidence may expose them to unnecessary risks or harm their interests. Legal complaints are one method we use to address misinformation and protect the reputation of our clients. We aim to silence false and harmful statements that may mislead the public and tarnish our clients' credibility. While we can't always publicly share evidence or proof, we stand by the validity of our work and are prepared to defend it through legal means if necessary.
Right. Question number 10. Derek Miller once recruited victims for you. Now he calls you a fraud. What happened? Derek Miller originally helped funnel victims to your services, but later exposed you as a scam. Why did your top referral partner turn against you?
Conflicts and differences of opinion can arise in any business or working relationship. While Derek Miller helped us in the past, our partnership ended due to various reasons, and he decided to go in a different direction. It's not uncommon for former partners or employees to have differing views or opinions on a business or individuals involved. We respect Derek Miller's decision and move forward with the work we are doing for our clients.
So have you threatened legal action against Derek Miller after he started whistleblowing what was going on in your company to the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger?
We have not initiated legal action against Derek Miller. Our focus is on representing our clients and helping them recover their lost funds. We believe in addressing our company's reputation and credibility through our actions and the results we achieve for our clients, rather than resorting to legal threats. We respect the right of individuals to express their opinions, even if they differ from ours. Our commitment is to continuing our work for our clients' best interests.
Question number 11. If you were legitimate, why won't you join this live interview? If you are confident.
As I mentioned earlier, we do prioritise discretion and confidentiality in our work with clients and cases. Joining a live interview could potentially compromise our ability to maintain privacy and security for our clients. We also want to focus our efforts on working diligently on our clients' cases and pursuing legal actions against the scammers. We appreciate your understanding that sometimes the best course of action is to protect our clients' interests and avoid unnecessary attention. We appreciate your invitation for a live interview, and we encourage open dialogue and transparency in our operations. However, we need to consider the safety and well-being of our clients. Live interviews can attract attention from scammers or fraudsters who might target our clients or mislead the public. For the protection of our clients and the success of our ongoing cases, we prefer to conduct our interactions in a controlled and secure environment where we can focus on their needs. We respect your perspective and would be open to discussing our work further under the appropriate circumstances.
I felt like I was getting gaslighted then. Now, interestingly enough, you haven't filed any cases or any proof of any action in the last 5 years. So what have you been doing for the last 5 years, Craig?
While I cannot comment on specific cases due to confidentiality reasons, I assure you that we have been actively working on cases and pursuing legal actions on behalf of our clients. It's important to note that legal proceedings can often take time, and it can take years to resolve cases. Sometimes settlements are made out of court, and therefore you wouldn't see any cases being filed in those circumstances. We continue to work diligently on behalf of our clients, and our aim is to maximise the funds we are able to recover.
So question number 12, what's the truth about the $1 million investigation fee of HyperVerse? Ben Ecker stated that HyperVerse investigation required at least $1 million of losses to be economically I've forgotten the word. I'll just play that word.
Viable.
Why should victims pay you even more money before they get results? Because don't most class action lawsuits not get payment up front? There's normally no win, no fee basis. Why is yours different? And why do you need $1 million worth of monies before you even start doing anything?
The $1 million investigation fee is a specific requirement for HyperVerse cases due to the complexity and resources required to investigate such operations. HyperVerse operated as a Ponzi scheme, and they are known for being difficult to trace and recover funds from. Investigations into such schemes require a significant amount of resources, including expert analysis, forensic accounting, legal expertise, and manpower. While normal class action lawsuits may operate on a no-win, no-fee basis, the complexity and resources required for cases like HyperVerse require an upfront fee to cover the costs of investigation and ensure that our team is adequately compensated for the work we do.
Thank you. We'll move on. Number 13, you're an investigative journalist, real journalist, or a PR puppet? And the last part of the question I'll read.
You presented Danny de Hek as an investigative journalist working for you. Can you confirm if she has any published work outside of your company's marketing?
There you go.
I am an investigative journalist who has worked in various media outlets and publications over the years. As for Danny de Hek, she is an experienced media professional who has worked in a variety of roles, including as a journalist, producer, and marketing specialist. She has a wealth of knowledge and experience in media and communications, which is valuable to our team. It's not uncommon for media professionals to work across different roles and industries throughout their careers, and I can confirm that Christina has a strong background in journalism in addition to her work with us.
Wow, good to know. Thank you, Craig. I've got some people in the chat room here. One of them is Rob Worley. Have you ever heard of Rob Worley?
I have not personally heard of Rob Woolley in the context of our business operations. If you could provide some more information or context about Rob Woolley, I may be able to help further.
He's a hardcore investigative journalist, currently doing a lot of information on Donald Trump and Elon Musk. A fascinating YouTuber. So if you haven't checked out his channel, please do so. You would find it fascinating, actually. You could get him to do an investigation on Sam Lee, and he could perhaps be hired. Would you be interested in hiring Rob Worley to do your investigative journalist reporting information?
I certainly respect and appreciate the work of investigative journalists like Rob Woolley, who delve into important topics like the activities of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. While we have a team of experienced professionals working on investigative reporting and research, we're always open to collaborating with others who share our commitment to uncovering the truth. If there's an opportunity to work with Rob Willey or any other skilled journalist on a case, we would certainly consider it.
That's brilliant. Number 14, BE Conflict Management Officers, a virtual address. Your Wyoming Vice at 444 Bricksdale Avenue appears to be a virtual office space. Do you actually have any physical offices? Or is it just a rented mailbox and voice recording?
I can clarify that we do have physical offices. While our location may appear to be a virtual address, we have actual offices where our team operates from. We have dedicated spaces for our team to work together and handle client communications. We understand the importance of having a physical presence, and while we may also use virtual spaces for certain operations, we value having a physical location where our team can work closely with clients and each other.
Are you sure it's not just a co-working shared office space like Regis?
I can confirm that we have dedicated office space and are not simply sharing a co-working space. Our team requires a dedicated and secure space to handle confidential client information and work efficiently on our clients' cases. While we may utilize co-working spaces for certain purposes, we prioritize having our own offices to maintain privacy and security.
Right. Whatever you say, Craig. Number 15, if you're fighting for victims, why do they say otherwise? At least 20 victims have reported paying your fees but seen zero results. Why should new victims trust you when so many have come forward with complaints?
I understand the concern regarding the experiences of some victims who have paid our fees and not seen the desired results. It's crucial to note that case outcomes can vary based on the specifics of each case, and achieving a favourable result is never guaranteed. However, our team works diligently on each case, employing our extensive experience and resources to maximise recovery for our clients. While not every case may have the desired outcome, our commitment to fighting for victim rights remains steadfast. We encourage potential clients to thoroughly research our company and read real-life reviews from satisfied clients before making a decision.
That's exactly what we've been doing. Number 16, what happened to Skyway Capital and Zero Pro? You warned about Skyway and Zero Pro, but no legal action has been taken. Where were these warnings just marketing tactics to attract more clients?
While we did issue warnings about Skyway Capital and Zero Pro, we have not taken legal action against them as of now. We believe informing victims and the public about potential threats is essential to help them make informed decisions. Our warnings are not mere marketing tactics, but rather an effort to protect people from potential scams and help them make informed financial decisions. We continue to monitor these companies and similar platforms, and we may take action in the future if necessary.
Number 17, if your work is legitimate, why wouldn't you just show us the financials? Other recovery firms provide expense reports to their clients. Why wouldn't you disclose how you've spent victims' funds on legal actions?
While we understand your curiosity regarding the financials, it's important to note that legal cases involving clients' funds involve sensitive information. Disclosing detailed financial information such as expenses and reports can pose a risk of revealing confidential information about our clients and our operations. In addition, we value the privacy of our clients and their financial records. Our focus is on maximising recovery for our clients and providing them with the best possible outcome. Transparency in our work is crucial, and we strive to maintain a balance between confidentiality and keeping our clients informed about their case progress.
Number 18, why is there no public record of any of your legal cases? If your lawsuits exist, why can't they be found in any public records?
We understand your concern, and it's important to note that legal cases can sometimes be private and not publicly available. This is especially true for cases involving sensitive personal information or other confidential details. In these situations, court records may be sealed or restricted from public view. It's not unusual for legal cases to be conducted privately, and this is a common practice in many jurisdictions. We work diligently on our clients' cases and may have lawsuits that aren't publicly accessible, but rest assured that our legal work is legitimate and we're dedicated to fighting for the rights of our clients.
Number 19. Who are your experts? And where are they, Craig? You claim to have lawyers, detectives, and financial analysts working with you. Can you name one single professional that has been part of your successful legal actions?
While I cannot disclose specific names due to privacy and confidentiality reasons, I can assure you that we have a team of experienced professionals working with us, including lawyers, detectives, and financial analysts. Our team consists of experts from various countries, with some individuals choosing to stay anonymous and focus solely on their work, contributing in different ways to the success of our clients' cases. I understand the desire for transparency, but we must also consider the safety and privacy of our experts who work diligently to help our clients.
Well, question number 20, and the last question is the final challenge, and will you answer these questions live? Craig has already failed because we did not get Craig. I have sent him messages. I've asked him to come on this interview to answer these questions, and he's failed to do so. Instead, he's decided that it would be better to try to remove this video even before it went live. Craig, this is your opportunity to clear your name. Will you accept the live YouTube interview to prove your legitimacy? Well, obviously not. And that interview is always open to you, Craig, because I know you're watching this right now, and there is a link in the chat room where you could click and come in here live on a phone call. You can ring me. You have my number. You escorted me around Sydney for 3 nights. We had a few beers together, and you were grooming me as the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Why did you do so? Hello, Susie.
I appreciate the opportunity for a live interview, but I must emphasize that my focus is on working on our clients' cases to ensure that they receive the best possible service and outcomes. While I acknowledge that you have questions and concerns, my primary responsibility is to the clients who have placed their trust in us. As for past interactions, I may not recall all the details, but I have helped many individuals navigate the complexities of the cryptocurrency world. I understand that these interactions might have created different perceptions and experiences, and I'm open to discussing these matters with you and anyone else who has concerns.
Well, thank you for letting me interview the AI version of you, Craig. Really appreciate letting me do so. Craig's voice is actually character.ai. It's his real voice used, and all the questions that he's answered, except for the actual company registration, I believe is true and factual to my knowledge and the conversations that we've had with Craig. So thank you for coming along, Craig, but you didn't really answer any questions and you haven't got any proof that any legal action has actually been taken place. Any last words? I'll let you finish off your interview and then we'll let you go. You say whatever you want.
While providing specifics may not be appropriate in a public forum due to confidentiality and legal reasons, I can assure you that Legal Payback does take legal actions when necessary. We focus on providing the best possible service to our clients and delivering successful outcomes. Our commitment is to represent victims effectively, and although I was not able to engage in a live interview, I'm grateful for the opportunity to address the concerns that have been brought up. Our dedication to our clients and the integrity of our work will continue to be our priority.
Thank you, Craig. So that, as I said, was Craig Wotton and his AI version of himself because he cowardly declined to come on and be interviewed by me. Do not get scammed twice. I'm going to repeat that. Do not get scammed twice. I have correspondence from someone right now going on, and they had lost $17,000, as I said previously. They borrowed money that they didn't have, hoping they could trade their way out of it. The final resort is they reached out to a crypto recovery agency who was probably running their operation in a human trafficking compound. Now, recently, you may have heard of Thailand cutting the power off to their human trafficking compounds that are over the river in Myanmar. That's where these scammers operate out of. Never give your money to anybody who claims they can recover your funds. This interview wasn't really to be, how do I say, hardcore hitting interview style. What it was actually designed to do was to draw out information. I want to hear from you. We have had a big battle with Craig. Craig Wotton is a lovely guy. He needs to be lovely. But I do not believe he is running a genuine recovery service. I have asked him lots of questions that do not even breach anyone's privacy, and he's failed to do so. And when I backed him up against the wall, he threw Ben at me, and Ben was claiming if I published anything that he put in an email, that he would sue me. These guys do not seem to be doing anything. If you get approached by BE Conflict Management claiming that they are doing a class action lawsuit, ask them what type of information they will keep you up to date with. We've been in correspondence with somebody just this week who has had dealings with Craig, and they have not done anything to recover their funds. I won't give you any more details, but it's happening right now. This is not something that happened 7 years ago when these companies claimed they could do class action lawsuits. Craig's got lots of excuses, and he's got lots of long-winded emails that just waffle. They make no sense. He's claiming that Lyoness, now get this, Lyoness was a company, a reward-structured Ponzi scheme. He used to run it in Australia. Now, another investigative company told me that at the time that Craig was running Australia and he was the country manager, that the company was not flagged as a Ponzi scheme. So technically speaking, Craig's not guilty of facilitating a Ponzi scheme. But after they found out that it was a Ponzi scheme, Craig has put his hand up and said he would help people recover their monies, and that he would work with Ben, who's not a lawyer, not qualified. Craig's not a lawyer. He's not qualified. He's an Australian businessman. Then they were working with another company in a building with a company that had lawyers, and they were doing all their class action lawsuit. I asked him how much this lawsuit was in total. He claimed it was £34 million. And I said, if everyone had paid 9%, what have you done with the $3 million? They don't prove any expenditures. Now, I have been speaking to a legitimate recovery agency. He said that one of the cases that they took on, they recovered $10 million from the company they were suing. Every single penny of that $10 million went to the fees for the people that were chasing the money. So the victims didn't get their money back. In fact, they had to use that money to pay back all the people that were investigating and going after these crimes. Now, these companies can't just put their hand out and say, we spent $10 million. They have to prove receipts. And that's what Craig and Ben need to do. They need to prove whether they spent the $3 million. So I questioned Craig and said, you've got £34 million collectively of people that have lost £34 million. If you've done the 9% to everybody, and if they are successful, then they will get 16%. And, he said that not everyone had paid 9%. So I said, some people paid 8%, 7%, 6%, 5%, 3%, still millions of dollars that they have been paid to recover these funds. And yes, if you go and look at their social media, you'll see Craig's face all over it. He's everywhere. Craig's the man. He's the media man. He's the market. I've met his cameraman because he recorded a video with me and him in the same venue where we were holding the Global Crime Summit in Sydney. And the guy couldn't even record the video properly on my phone. He didn't know how to record using an iPhone, and he had an iPhone. It was ridiculous. So it's all smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. It's just rubbish. Now, if you want to help me with information, this is my website, and I am called Danny de Hek. I don't hide behind my name, and I do come on camera. And I got the nickname the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger because the New York Times did a full double-page spread about my quest to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. And I actually have published the interview that we've just done as a blog. And you can come down here and you can click play and you can actually see the video that we're recording right now live. That's me. Hello, me. And in here, you can go through and you can read my experience, and you can also read the questions that I've just asked AI Craig. And if you really want to, you can click on the tags at the bottom and you'll find other content that we have done previously about BE conflict management. This is the hashtag, and it should pop up. It should pop up with another one, but let's click on Craig Wotton instead. That might be better. So he's tried quite vigorously to remove my content off the internet. But now, as I said, this is streamed on 6 or 7 different places. This blog that I just showed you is on numerous websites. And it looks like we've only got 2 blogs after all that. Well, I must have not used his name extensively enough. But this last one that we did, I heard that he was complaining to somebody that his head had been replaced with a cow. In here, I explained the whole story of when I visited, what did we do? When we visited Australia, and how we went to the Global Crime Summit and all the red flags that I were listening to. We've renamed Craig in this one to Ethan. Ethan Graves was the name I used because he had been trying to get his content removed. And he has tried to get this content removed and other content and not been successful because I'm not breaching any claims. I am doing a journalist interview, so to speak. But what I do want to stress enough, you may have lost money to another scam. You may have been victimized by other people who claim that they can recover your money. If that is the case, please go to my website, click on the Contact Us page, and we will give us that information. Tell us your name, your email, your username. There is a button here to keep it anonymous. If you don't want your name broadcasted everywhere, that's fine. And tell us the name of the Ponzi scheme or scam that you got bitten by. Tell us, more importantly, your sponsor. These Ponzi schemes grow because normally the sponsor is a friend, a colleague, or a family member. And that's how they flourish. And everyone's in the same boat. I lost money as well. And normally if it's a sponsor, they will tell you that they lost more money than you, so you don't feel like you're that bad. And that is a common trait for all these people who are reporting Ponzi schemes and scams. If you give us this information, we will put it in our database. So this is the current database that I have on Craig, and this is the current database I have on Ben. These photos that you see, Ben is meant to be an investigative journalist, just like me, so I was told. But as I said previously, Ben has 2 LinkedIn profiles. This one here has 2 connections and bad photo, no background image. Now, if he's an investigative journalist living in Austria, then he must have lost his password. Then this profile that you're looking at was created in 2019. And this was created around the same time that this scheme was all done. And then you find another profile of Ben, and now he has 39 followers and 25 connections. And this is another photo of Ben. Now, this guy's meant to be like everywhere, investigative journalist. And would you believe he's got 2 endorsements? Now, how ridiculous is this? 1 endorsement from Craig, the second endorsement from Craig. So Craig is the only person that's endorsed. Is Craig Wotton actually doing the correspondence for Ben? Who knows? I don't. And then you go to Craig, and Craig has updated his profile photo once again. Back to his, at Christmas time, he updated his profile, but he removed the images that he had of him being standing on the podium at the conference I went to. And here's a screenshot of when Craig was using those photos. So we've got images of, where we got his images, screenshots. These are the images of Craig and all his social media, and he plastered that image of him standing on the podium to make it, in my opinion, to look like he was actually at the conference as a speaker. Even though I jumped on the stage with him at the time, you get the idea. But he didn't. This is me, and I'm actually standing in this crowd. I'm by the podium right there. These are all crime-fighting people. Craig was not any part of it at all. I was actually disappointed I took him along, because you can see he used those photos on his LinkedIn, his Pinterest account, his Twitter account, and all these, actual photos of Craig, which he's now taken off the internet because we're on to what he was doing. This is not good. This is bad. There's enough of these companies out there that are just abusing people. I don't believe for a minute that they're actually doing any legitimate crypto recoveries. I don't believe there's any lawsuits going on. In fact, I demanded to see a document I got a filing of court action, but no legal paperwork from any court system. He emailed me a document from a court, and I did a search for the heading of the document on Google, and I found an identical document with the same heading, and it looked like to me, in my investigative journalist hat, that they'd grabbed that document and then put their own words on top of it. The document that I found on the internet was hosted on a government website, no association to them whatsoever. If that document really existed, why didn't they give me the link to the government website where the document sits? Every time I asked them, it was, oh, we can't tell you this, we can't tell you that, we can't tell you this. And through my research recently, there is, as I said earlier on, there was 24 people in a group, and somebody wanted to see some evidence of a case, and they said that they would have to get the approval of everybody in the group before they would release any documents. So imagine you were part of a community and you all got invested in the same scam, and they did a class action lawsuit and you wanted an update. They said we'd have to go through and get the signatures of everybody involved so we can give you updates. How ridiculous is that? In fact, I gave some of my notes to a real private investigator, and he come back with WFT. What? WTF. So I don't know, guys. I hope that what did Susie said? What? I know, and I'm going to I've already sent through. I can't use what I want to. It's due to real confidentiality. I can't say what I want to say, but I did be privy to some pretty amazing documents, and I've actually come up with a summary, all the red flags of everything that Craig has correspondence. So what I'm looking for with this video, ladies and gentlemen, is I want to stop these crypto recovery agents. And the only way I'm going to do that is by hearing your story. Now, if you've given BE Conflict Management Inc. any money in the past, and you've got a contract there and you're sick of waiting and you realize that you've been scammed twice, please send us that document and we will have a closer look. We'll keep your privacy, but we've so far got 21 people that have come forth and said they've been scammed by this company. It's not my words, it's their words. And we want to stop it. We don't want people. I sit here, I've been doing this for 3 years, currently invested in 315 different Ponzi schemes and scams. I mean, if you look at what we've got, persons of interest, these are all the people that we've got files on. There's 400 people in here. We've even started to break them into countries. Just picking on Australia alone, you know, the people that we've got in here. And also the connections that we are building is starting to become something impressive. My database is my heart of my operation. If you click on Ponzi schemes and scams, we've actually got over 115 currently Ponzi schemes and scams that we are actively going after. We go into Zoom meetings and we literally, we can go into a Zoom meeting, right now and just go in here like this, and we'll find people pushing Zoom meetings down people's throats. Today we found the home address of a lady who is a caregiver for her mother. The family is trying to get the caregiver ship taken off her, which is ridiculous. However, they now we realize why this person's really trying to why they're putting their neck so much on the line, because we're finding out the background stories of a lot of these people. Some of these people who are running these Ponzi schemes and scams are actually on the dole. There's a lot of ex-convicts running these meetings. Jan Gregory is a guy, I'm in his Zoom meeting right now. He's not live, but if he was live, he's wanted by the state of Alberta for not paying his taxes. They have reached out to us asking for his location. He's currently living in Dubai, suspectedly. He's running a Ponzi scheme called BitHarvest, where he's not running it, he's promoting it. BitHarvest has just been a really good site to find information. It's behind MLM. And we are not affiliated with them in any which way or form, but we do correspond details back and forth every now and again when we have leads. But if you come through here, you've got Jan Gregory, who's been charged, I've forgotten how much, it's some absolutely million, I've forgotten how much, over $150,000 worth of Canadian dollars. And all these names of these people in here are in these scams. These are all scams that I don't even know anything about. But every now and again, we'll find a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Here's BitHarvest here. So here's BitHarvest, financial warning from Russia. And then we go into a meeting right here, and often there will be a meeting happening promoting people to buy these USB drive things you put in front of a crypto mining machine that's meant to make you rich and provide you a passive income dream. So even though there's warnings here from like Russia, you can come through here and you can find, warnings, like even the US regulators in the state of California have posted warnings about BitHarvest. So then Jan Gregory carries on promoting it, and he tells people not to promote it in California. Like, that's going to save them. And that's their answer to all these government warnings. And then they just focus their attentions, all hoping to get the commission money that these companies claim to pay every time that's Jan Gregory there. So where does it stop? I mean, and Jan Gregory, if you went, he's promoted Cloudify. CoinMarketBull was the first company that I heard about him with. And somebody contacted me and said, why don't you sign up for CoinMarketBull? They're paying $500 every time someone signs up. And I said, no, I'm all right. And they said, no, do it. You'll get $500. So what happens when you sign up to this CoinMarketBull? You got $500 in your account, but then it had terms and conditions associated with and said that you weren't going to get the $500 until you recruited $5,000 worth of people into the scheme. And then you would get paid $500, which is 10% referral fee. But all the advertising didn't, it was stupid. But this guy, I've spoke to him. They've done videos about behind MLM. They've got these boxes. The box that he's holding in his hand is empty. There's nothing in it. Because they ran out of bid boosters, but they still had the boxes. So they distributed the empty boxes so people could show the empty box to sell these things. And then they have these stupid videos where they go in here and show you how they work. And that's meant to give you credibility. Why do these countries, go after them? Now, what do you want to do? Okay, so you've got yourself involved in, let's just use BitHarvest as an example, and you've invested $10,000. And then you realize it's a scam. And then you've got people like Craig Wotton coming along, who's not even a lawyer, nor is Ben, his business associate. And they claim that if you give them 9%, another $900, they're going to go after these guys and do a class action lawsuit. And they claim that they know who's behind these schemes. We don't even know who's behind it. These guys aren't the real guys behind it. They're probably just working for the cartel. They're probably scared. This guy here has even been interviewed on Binance. Even Binance don't realize that these guys are running a scam until it's too late. It just goes on and on and on. We've set up websites to stop companies who claim they've got alliances with Visa card. This company here, Liquid Pay, claims that they are associated with Visa. You go to their website and you click on Liquid Pay, and it doesn't even work. the liquid pay links doesn't even work. Meant to be a financial company. So then you go down here and you click on this link and that one works. These websites are all designed by people and they claim they're powered by Visa. And they've managed to get their apps in the App Store with Apple. We write to Apple. We write to Google Play. They don't care, but Apple normally does. And then when you go to the app in the Apple Store, they had the wrong company name. So they had, in the terms and conditions of this website, were different to the company name that they had with the app. But no one verifies things. Bloomberg, Business Weekly, interviewed Shavis Anwar, the guy behind this company. And he, at the time, was marketing the company as 9Pay. And then they went and asked Visa if they were associated with 9Pay. And they said, we don't know who Shavis Anwar is. And they made a point, which they normally don't. They broke confidentiality and said, we have no association with 9Pay and no association with Shavis Anwar. So now we've got all these people in Vietnam who have signed up for 9Pay and things aren't working. So we set up a website called liquidpay.com. Now you drop the I, so it's LQ Pay. LQ Pay. But after Bloomberg exposed them, they rebranded the company a week later. Didn't even tell people why. So there's Shavis Anwar. So these are what these companies are doing. Now, Shavis Anwar, is he the man behind it? Well, I don't think so. I believe that he's a puppet on a string. I believe he's working for the cartel network. I believe he's part of the human trafficking compounds. I believe he's probably one of the top dogs in there. If you can't beat them, join them. Anyway, you come down here, and here's the statement from Bloomberg Business Week, which hopefully I'll be in the next week. They're doing a documentary-style video, and I've been already filmed for 6.5 hours by a film crew, and they're going to do a document about Sam Lee. Sam Lee, he was charged by America for his connection to HyperVerse, a $1.9 billion scam. Sam Lee got retained in Dubai by Interpol after they served a red notice. Sam Lee, Shavis, the guy we're looking at on the screen here, are all meant to be in bed together. And we've got videos of Sam Lee and Shavis working together when they started off with Stable Deo, Stable Opinion. And then they started up We Are All Satoshi. And We Are All Satoshi has had all their money stolen, blah, blah, blah. They started up many different projects. They've started up a thing called BTCC, which is their own blockchain that when money goes in, it never comes out. So one day, somebody like Craig Wotton will come along and say, hey, guys, I can help get your money back if you just pay me some money. And then they do nothing. They sit on their hands. That's what they do. If these guys are running and promoting these Ponzi schemes and people like me can't stop them, if these guys can make unsubstantiated claims, claiming people are going to be led to financial freedom, and they never deliver, it's just crazy. We can't stop them. You can't get your money back from them. It's really that simple. So don't listen to people like Craig who claim that they can do so. We've got a couple of messages coming here from Susie. It's called rejecting. If there is personal info, redacted, but the general case brief should be full disclosure. That's true. So if you were looking for proof, you could redact all the names out of it. It's a common legal practice. There's no such thing as not being able to show people that there's a court action, and there would be court evidence. I got in the New Zealand High Court for somebody trying to sue me for defamation. Defecation, that's different. But, and it was for $3.8 million. It cost me $33,600 to defend myself. They filed a discontinuance an hour and a half before the High Court judge actually opened the case. They spent a week trying to offer us a plea deal, saying that they would pay for all my legal expenses if I removed all the videos. But my lawyers were the best lawyers in New Zealand, defamationlawyers.co.nz, absolutely amazing lawyers. They said we would relish the day in court. Relish it, because they have a call for justice. They were working at $800 an hour, and because I was poor, legal aid, which is set up in New Zealand that every New Zealander is entitled to a fair trial, they took on the case under legal aid. They fought vigorously with a case. We submitted a 217-page document to the courts in defense of our claim that these guys are running a scam, and they chickened out. The judge said that we got awarded $27,500, and I'm now paying off the rest of the court fees at $15 a week. Different story, different time, but it was worth every penny, and I enjoy paying that every week. I don't, but I do, you know what I mean? So these people, I knew that even that court case was in the newspapers. It was lodged in the courts. There's court evidence, even everything that's to do with a court case and a court and a claim will be lodged somewhere. And the only thing I have seen in Ben's defense is a lodgement, like a submission. And I could submit something to the court. It could be on the court system that Danny de Hek and the Avengers submitted a court case against Chavis and War, for example. It doesn't mean that any legal action is happening or anything is happening at all. Have I shared this with you? Not anymore. The president of Alberta. Oh, I'll see if I can bring that up. Wish I could click on a link. Website. All right, we might be able to just flip onto a website here. I'll see if I type that one in. Oh, hold it. I think I've got it opened over here, Susie. So let's have a look, see where we're going. We'll just